Okay, everyone. So in this next lesson, I just want to go and give you a tip with regards to when we are encountering some new terms or keywords in our coding journey. One of my tip for you will always be to research what are the things that you are seeing here or you are reading here right now. Like for example, here we have the at media rule. We have the only keyword here. We have the end keyword here. And this is one of the tips that I always tell my students. If ever you are not familiar with a certain keyword, try to do your research about it and try to find out now that you know that this keyword exists. What you need to do next will be to understand what it is used for and then try to remember it and then to apply it in your projects. As I've said before, everyone, learning how to code is you learning a new language. In this case, we are learning the language of the computer so that we can go and give it instructions on how to display our design here, the instructions that we have written here on a browser. Similar to learning a new language, we have to understand the grammar, the expressions, the statements that are used in creating a sentence. So again, that's similar with coding. And one of the best advice that I can give you will always be to figure out what are the keywords that were used here. So here we know that this header nav here is a class name that we declared. It's not a keyword. It's something that we customized. We were the one who originally named this class selector, and it's not part of the markup or the elements or the keywords that are used in coding CSS. This is going to be very useful, especially if you're trying to figure out what are the variables that are present in your code, or in the future, if you're going to move forward to learning JavaScript and other programming language. This will be helping you out figure out what are the keywords that are built in that language and what are the variables that are declared by the programmer. So here in this case, let me just correct here some of my mistake here. I was actually figuring out again. This is one of the things that I also do. I try to double check, is this the correct spelling of my queries. Sometimes we make mistakes, guys. And again, similar to coding, similar to learning a new language, it's you learning the syntax properly for a specific language. And in this case, we are learning the CSS language that we use to give instructions to the browser or to the computer so that it will be able to display the layout that we would want to appear on our devices or the devices of our visitors for the website that we are building for them. So if we go back here in our documentation here, you would see that we have here the CSS at media rule. I just wanted to go and try to run you through the process of trying to figure out some keywords, because you would see here, guys, that we can actually omit the only screen and keywords here. If we try to read through this, the at media rule is used in media queries to apply different styles for different media types and devices. Media queries can be used to check many things such as width, height of the viewport, width and height of the device, orientation, is it tablet or phone, in landscape or portrait mode, and then the resolution. And if we try to read through the documentation here, it says here using media queries is a popular technique for delivering a tailored style sheet, which is a responsible web design concept to desktop, laptops, tablets, and mobile phones. You can also use media queries to specify the certain styles are only for printed documents or screen readers, such as media types such as print, screen, or speech. We can also see here that besides from media types, we also have media features, and media features provide more specific details to media queries by allowing to test for a specific feature of the user agent or display device. For example, you can apply styles to only those screens that are greater or smaller than a certain width. So if we go down here, we can see the CSS syntax, and we have the not or only media type, and media feature and or not keywords here, and then the media feature. So we can see here that the meaning of the not only and keywords. For the not keyword reverts the meaning of an entire media query. The only keyword will be preventing older browsers that do not support media queries with media features from applying the specified styles. It has no effect on modern browsers, and the and keyword combines a media feature with a media type or the other media features. So from the description here for the at media rule, we know now that the media type here is the screen. Okay, as you can see here, we have media types all, print, screen, or speech. And media features can have the following values: any hover, any pointer, aspect ratio, color, and so on. So you can see here we have the max width, which displays the area such as a browser window. So I would suggest that you go through this and try to play around with it. Now, at least you now have an idea on how to go through keywords and trying to figure them out, especially if it's a new word that you've encountered in any script or programming language that you will be learning. It's really important that you try to figure out keywords that you encounter in the programming language that you're learning. Try to identify uh, if it's a customized variable or is it a keyword that is built in the language that you're learning. So I'm hoping you got the idea here, guys. Now, at least as we go along with our lessons here, you will not just be seeing the keyword only here, the keyword and here, and the media type here, and the media feature that we have here and its values, right? At least you understood that these are words that has a specific meaning and used when we declare our at media rule here that follows the rules of CSS based from the CSS syntax. So that will be all for this lesson. And again, as I've suggested, try to figure things out here. Try to test things out with the following values here. Try to read through them and try to understand them. So at least once you try to go through each of the values here, you would know that this is a media feature that is available for the at media rule. Then the meaning of it, now you will be able to understand it. Now you just need to remember that these are values that are available for your disposal when you're writing your CSS code, and then try to apply it when the need comes, when you try to build projects from where you might need to encounter or you might encounter situations that you might need the following values for media features and media types. Okay, so thank you everyone, and I'm hoping you got to learn a lot of tips here when it comes to your coding journey, and I'm hoping that this will be very useful for you as you go through your learning journey to moving forward, not just here in this course, which is focused more on HTML. When you move forward to further advanced CSS, JavaScript, Python, SQL, PHP, and more, at least you'll have some learning tips that I have shared to you that you might be able to use in your journey as a future coder, programmer, web developer. So thank you everyone and see you on our next lesson.